But let's start with this big story from the United States of America, where the American President Donald Trump's announcement pausing tariffs on most nations has sparked a bit of a euphoria on global markets. But it has also attracted accusations of market manipulation. The Democrat leaders, as well as his critics and social media users, are raising questions about a Trump post urging his followers to buy. Now, this post came just hours before he announced a 90-day pause in tariffs for most nations. At 9:37 a.m. local time on Wednesday, the American president posted on his Truth Social account, "This is a great time to buy DJT." Now, DJT is both the president's initials and also the ticker for his company, Trump Media and Technology. The Trump Media and Technology Group co-star and many others experienced some significant gains after the president's announcement. And just hours later, at about 1:20 p.m. local time, Trump announced the tariff pause. Now, soon all major indexes surged, with the Standard & Poor 500 rising by 8.2%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average advanced by 7%, and the Nasdaq Composite jumped up by over 10%. However, the data that's been shared by various handles shows that the call volume started spiking at around 1 p.m., much before Trump posted the news of the pause in the tariffs. The surge seemed to be over by the time Trump's announcement on tariffs. The Democrat Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shared the data shared by Spencer Hakimian, the founder of the Tulo Capital Management and Unusual Whales. She said that any member of the Congress who had purchased stocks in the last 48 hours should probably now disclose what they've purchased. Now, Ocasio-Cortez mentioned that the disclosure deadline is the 15th of May. Now, just days before the pause, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene had disclosed the purchase of several stocks that faced steep drawdowns last week. The Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren has also called for a formal investigation into whether Donald Trump had manipulated the stock market to benefit his Wall Street donors.
Now, there's confusion, there's chaos. No one knows what the tariffs will be tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. But here's what we do know. Are prices still going up? Yes. Are businesses still wary about investing? Yes. Are millions of working people still worried about their jobs, and millions of small businesses still worried about closing shop? Yes.
Now, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, following Trump's announcement on the tariff pause, the world's top 10 richest billionaires saw their combined net worth increase by a whopping $135 billion in just on Wednesday. Now, Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest person, saw the largest gain, with a net worth rising by $35.9 billion to $326 billion. All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we're joined by Mr. Calvin Dark, who is a political analyst. He's joining us live on this broadcast from Washington, D.C. Now, Mr. Dark, these are some pretty testing times in the United States of America. And the fact that Donald Trump puts out on his social media account, Truth Social, this is a good time to buy, and then a few hours later announces a pause on his tariffs. What are we to make on this? I mean, is this willful market manipulation on his part, or is this just another trait of Donald Trump's mercurial behavior?
Thank you for having me. I think the fact that we don't know gives credence to these accusations. The only reason that Senator Elizabeth Warren, can make these accusations and that they're credible is the way that Donald Trump did this. He created his own scandal. And I'm not talking about the failed tariff policy. I'm talking about the way he arrived at it. In a democracy, we must have transparency. And he didn't win an election as king. He won an election as president. And if Donald Trump really believed that we needed to change our tariff structure, he should have worked with Congress, and not even with Democrats, work with his own party. They have the majorities. And they could have come up with his tariff scheme. Why is that important? Because then it would be a lot harder for him to run some kind of stock market manipulation game by himself. With Congress, he would have had that oversight even with his own party. But because of the way he did it, not having an explanation of why, not having a strategy, giving inconsistent answers as to what his end goals were, it of course creates suspicions that maybe he just did this so that he and his family and his friends could get rich. And so this is a scandal of his own making.
You know, Donald Trump says that his slogan, his campaign slogan has been to make America great again. But the manner in which the prices on the stock markets have reacted, it does appear that he's trying to make, even if not willfully, to make the billionaires in America even more rich. $135 billion is what was gained in that just one trading session after Donald Trump put out his tweet, "This is a good time to buy." How does the American public look at this? Because this is creating a lot of uncertainty. We do not know as to how the American economy is going to fare in the days ahead. And Donald Trump here has effectively given an opportunity for the people who trade on the Wall Street to make more money.
Well, I don't like to say things with 100% certainty in the world of politics most of the time, but I can say this with 100% certainty. What he did was willful. And the reason I know that is that when it comes to money, there is no way that Donald Trump lifted one of his fingers to do anything that would involve billions and trillions of dollars without him having a goal behind it. Now, what exactly that goal was, that's what an investigation in Congress is for. Now, when it comes to the uncertainty, there's a lot here in America, and it's not limited to those who oppose him, even those in his own support base. Because one day he said the tariffs are there so we can bring back manufacturing. The next day he says it's so that we can negotiate better trade deals for other countries. Then he says, well, now we're going to focus on China and have more than 100% tariffs on China. Right now, if you're an American who really wants to help improve the American economy by maybe bringing more of your operation here in the United States, who would do that? Because we don't know what plan he might have tomorrow or the next day. So I think that's what a lot of Americans are dealing with today.
Indeed. We'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Calvin Dark, for joining us with that perspective then.
Thank you.